Some worlds are never forgotten. Worlds where ancient kingdoms rise and fall in silence, where mountains carry the names of wars no living soul remembers, where creatures walk forgotten paths that predate the oldest maps, where the air itself holds the weight of centuries of magic, blood, and survival. These worlds do not announce themselves. They do not ask for permission. They simply exist, deep and patient, waiting for those willing to step beyond the boundaries of the ordinary. You have felt the pull of those worlds before, that quiet hunger for something larger, that sense that somewhere, just past the edge of what you can see, a story is unfolding that was meant for you. That feeling is not an accident. It is a recognition. And it brought you here. Welcome to GL Fantasy Story, a channel built for those who believe that the greatest adventures are the ones that never truly end. GL Fantasy Story is a channel dedicated entirely to epic medieval fantasy storytelling.
Every story told here draws from the spirit of classic RPG worlds, where imagination is the only limit, and every journey carries real consequence. This is not a channel for casual entertainment. It is a channel for those who want to be fully immersed, those who want to feel the cold stone of a dungeon floor, the heat of a battlefield at dawn, the silence of a forest that has not known human footsteps in 100 years. Each story begins where great adventures always begin, with a hero standing at the edge of something unknown. These heroes face ancient mysteries buried beneath ruined cities. They walk into forgotten kingdoms, where the old laws still hold power, and the old gods have not yet gone silent. They encounter creatures whose existence defies everything they were taught to believe, and they face challenges that do not test only their strength, but their judgment, their loyalty, and their understanding of who they truly are.
Through immersive storytelling, we explore the full spectrum of what adventure means, the chaos of battle, and the quiet grief that follows it, the bond between companions who have nothing in common except the road they chose to walk together, the weight of a decision made in darkness with no certainty of what the morning will bring. Every character in these stories carries a purpose. Every decision leaves a mark on the world. Every legend has a price that someone had to pay. This is the foundation of GL Fantasy Story, stories that are built to last. The worlds of GL Fantasy Story are not simple backdrops. They are living places with their own histories, their own wounds, and their own logic. You will walk through cities built on the ruins of older cities, where the architecture of forgotten civilizations pushes through the ground like bones.
You will cross plains where the grass grows over mass graves from wars that ended centuries ago, and where the survivors built new nations without ever speaking of what was buried beneath their fields. You will enter forests so dense and ancient that the light barely reaches the ground, where the creatures that live there are not evil, but simply indifferent to human life in a way that is far more terrifying than hatred. You will stand in throne rooms, where the politics are as dangerous as any battlefield, where a single word spoken to the wrong person at the wrong moment can end a dynasty. You will descend into dungeons that were not built for imprisonment, but for something far older and far stranger, and you will have to understand what they were before you can survive them. The magic in these worlds does not come without cost. It is not a tool. It is a force with its own nature, its own demands, and its own memory.
Those who wield it are changed by it, and not always in ways they chose. Every environment in these stories is crafted to feel real, not comfortable, not sanitized, but real. Because the greatest fantasy worlds are not places we escape to. They are places that show us something true about the world we already live in. The heroes of GL Fantasy Story are not legends when we first meet them. They are soldiers who have survived wars they did not start, wanderers who left home for reasons they have never fully explained, not even to themselves, scholars who followed a question so far that they could no longer find the path back, outcasts who were defined by a single moment in their past, and have spent every year since either trying to escape it or trying to understand it. They are complicated. They carry things, regrets, loyalties, old wounds that never healed properly, beliefs that have been tested so many times that they are no longer certain what they believe. They make mistakes,
Sometimes serious ones, and the stories do not protect them from the consequences of those mistakes. What makes them heroes is not that they are fearless, it is that they continue. They face what is in front of them, they carry what they must carry, and they make the choices that need to be made, even when none of the options are good. These are characters you can believe in, not because they are perfect, but because they are recognizable, because somewhere in their struggle, in their doubt, in the way they reach for something better even when they are exhausted, you will see something that you know. And that recognition is what makes a story matter. Beyond the battles, beyond the magic, beyond the kingdoms and the creatures and the ancient prophecies, every story told on this channel carries something more. Fantasy has always been a way of talking about real things through the distance of imagination. The monsters in great stories are never only monsters.
The quests are never only quests. The choices heroes face in ancient throne rooms, at the edge of impossible decisions, reflect choices that every person faces in their own life, in smaller rooms, with less dramatic stakes, but with the same fundamental weight. GL Fantasy Story was built on that belief. These stories explore loyalty and what it costs. They explore power and what it does to those who hold it. They explore the question of what a person owes to others and what they are permitted to keep for themselves. They explore grief and sacrifice and the long work of becoming someone worth being. None of this is presented as a lesson. There are no simple answers offered here because the stories do not believe in simple answers. What is offered instead is honesty, a willingness to look at difficult things and take them seriously. The greatest adventure stories do not just entertain. They stay with you. They give you something to carry forward. They change in small ways how you see the world you return to when the story ends. That is the standard this channel holds itself to, every time. A world of legends is waiting. Every story on this channel was built with care and with a single purpose: to give you an adventure that is worth your time. An adventure that will draw you in from the first sentence and stay with you long after the final word. New stories arrive regularly. Each one is different. Each one carries its own world, its own cast of characters, its own conflicts with no clean resolution, its own moments of silence between the battles that say more than the battles themselves ever could. There are heroes here you have not met yet, roads you have not walked, kingdoms you do not know the names of, creatures whose existence will make you reconsider what you thought you understood about the boundaries between the natural and the impossible. Every one of those stories is waiting for you on this channel.
If you are ready for that kind of storytelling, subscribe to GL Fantasy Story. Turn on notifications so you never miss a new journey. And share this channel with anyone you know who has ever looked up from the ordinary world and felt that pull towards something larger, something older, something worth crossing a very long distance to find. The gate is open. The road stretches further than you can see from where you are standing. And somewhere ahead, a story is beginning that was made for exactly this moment. Prepare for quests where fantasy meets now.